Hi there guys, and welcome to another stream with me, Mike, aka Damn Profit. So, as you saw at the beginning of my video, it is time to say goodbye to my PS4 Pro. Now that doesn't mean I'm not going to have a PS4 at all. I've got another PS4, just a standard one. I had it in my collection. It was something that I wasn't using because I had the Pro, but I've decided to go back to a standard PS4. Primarily the reason why is that ever since I got one of those bad boys, which is an Xbox One X, cross-platform games, there's just no real point in playing them on the Pro. To be quite truthful, there's the uplift in some games is now minor. Where on the Xbox One X there is a 3 times uplift against a PS4 Pro. You know, so the things that we're playing like Last of Us Remastered, you know, Destiny 2, etc, etc. Yeah, I think I want to play them on Xbox One X more. And the Pro now doesn't really serve a purpose. So, I've packed it up, I'm going to sell it, I'm going to get rid of it, so it's going to be on eBay shortly. I'm literally got no... Usually when I'm boxing consoles up, I really get bad. So when I got rid of my Halo 5 Xbox One, I really felt bad about that. When I got rid of some of my Xbox Ones, I was bad about that. I felt bad. But with the Pro, it just feels very whimsical. I mean, most of my cross-platform collection's gone. It's all on Xbox One. Just the exclusives, so Horizon Zero Dawn, No Man's Sky, Nier Automata. You know, those kind of things, and Bloodborne, and, you know, Until Dawn, those kind of games I've still got on my PS, but anything that's now available on both consoles is immediately going onto the Xbox One X, because, to be quite frank, if you're going to play it, you want to play it in the best possible way. And I am at heart, I've always been an Xbox player. You know, I had my Xbox One first, I've had a 360 first, I had a PS, you know, I basically got a PS3 because a mate talked me into it. So it's come to the point now where I don't need it anymore. So the PlayStation 4 Pro's going. You know, it's been quite interesting packing it away and doing dashboard updates and loading up my old, the PS I've reverted to, the PS4 I've reverted to. And to be quite frank, I really haven't noticed any difference. And I doubt I will. You know, I'll be on Destiny 2, but really nowadays, to do cross-platform gaming, to do gaming of any kind, you know, the PS4 Pro's good if the only console you're going to have is a PS4 Pro. If you want the very best, I think, in my personal opinion, then you got to go down the Xbox One X route. Yeah, people are going to turn around to you and say that there's loads of exclusives on PS4. There's some. And not all of them are great. The Last Guardian was mediocre at best. No Man's Sky dropped with zero applause and ultimate criticism for being an absolutely shameless and empty game. Bloodborne, Last of Us, and Last of Us Remastered is not a PlayStation 4 exclusive. It is a PlayStation 3 remaster. Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X and X-2, no, that is a remaster from PlayStation 2. You know, Kingdom Hearts is just the ever ongoing drama of 2.8, 2.9, 2.926, 2.927 updates. You know, will we ever see Kingdom Hearts 3? Potentially, we will. But when it comes out, I've got a PS4. You know, when Last of Us 2 comes out, I've got a PS4. You know, Red Dead Redemption's going on Xbox. Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to go on Xbox One X. You know, Destiny 2 is going to be played a bit more on Xbox One X. All the Assassin's Creeds, you know, everything that was cross-platform is going for Xbox One X. Because it is a better experience to not have delays. And know that if, you know, when the time comes, and as I said, I play it, you know, if you've ever watched my Xbox One X review video, and, you know, the usable review, you know, with my PlayStation 4 Pro, there is really no difference between a Pro and a PS4, especially at 1080p. Yes, it'll subsample down a 4K screen, but considering that there's only 2 real games that run at full fat 4K, and, you know, even Last of Us Remastered was just running at 30 frames at 4K or a 1080p 60 frame version. the Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider, the Rise of the Tomb Raider, the 20th anniversary edition, would either run at 4K 30 or it would run at an enhanced kind of like a 1580p 60 frames a second. You put Rise of the Tomb Raider on Xbox One X, it runs at 4K. It runs at 4K 60. No blips, no issues. It doesn't even need a choice. It just does it. It is, that is the kind of upgrade that you're looking for. So that's why it's come to this. This is a really short video. I've not experienced any difference with running my older PS4. I've not really seen any real difference in interface, in graphics, in gameplay. There's nothing that's really kind of bothered me about leaving it. My Scorpio, on the other hand, is just all good. All good. Buying old Xbox 360 games and running the backwards compatibility, and it just has the grunt to make them look better, to make them load sharper. Load times have been dramatically decreased. And seeing original OG Xbox games that suddenly now are playable on an Xbox One X, and they just look good. The PlayStation 4 now seems to be... They've got a market lead, and they seem to be sitting on that market lead. Now, I know that you're going to see loads of offers. One of the big things is Black Friday's coming up. We've already seen in stores that, they're doing a PSVR bundle now for 249 quid. This is a headset that last year was brand new out, and it's dropped by 100 quid with a camera and games included. The console itself, when it first came out, was like 299, 350. You can still pick one up for 250, so it's dropped 100 quid in price. But it's been out 4 years. PlayStation 4 Pros now are 349 coming with a game. So Destiny 2 or FIFA 18, and you'll probably get some other editions, Star Wars Battlefront editions that are coming out. But still, that's kind of a year on. I think it was a year on. Yeah, it must be about a year on since I've had my Pro. And, they've kind of, all that you're getting is 50 quid off. So 299 realistically for the console plus a 50 quid game. So 50 quid off. But a PSVR has taken a camera out of that VR bundle and taken the games out. That means the VR is down to like 100 quid. Which to me stinks of it didn't sell very well. And it may have sold well against their expectations, but it didn't sell well, which is where I think it sits. Hence why they're doing it at such a discounted price. And, if you turn around to me and say that's not discounted, it's £250. For that, I could buy an Xbox One and 7 games. An Xbox One S. Yeah, you probably can. But the VR is only usable on some games. The TV feature and all that is really cool. Don't get me wrong, VR is probably going to be the next big gaming thing. Once they can compact it down, once they can make it more mobile, once it doesn't need all the wiring putting in, once you don't need to have all the kind of bump that comes with it, then VR will probably be the way forward for how to play games or interact. Personally, myself, Microsoft's HoloLens and interactivity with the environment is probably where gaming should go, because it should be easy to have a TV screen floating mid-air in front of you, and through like a pair of glasses you can see that TV, and then that's how you interface with it. I think that's a better way. VR's is kind of a stopgap till we get to that, and the technology's there to support that kind of interactivity. But don't get me wrong, the PS4 Pro is a good console. If I didn't have an Xbox One X and I wasn't kind of very well into Microsoft and kind of very deep into that kind of ecosystem, then a PS4 Pro is a great console. It is a great console. And if you're not really bothered about the whole 4K thing and you're just looking for the very best way to run a game, then the PS4 Pro, for what it does, is very good at what it does. But if you've got your 4K TV, if you've got your HDR, or if you're just an original Xbox One adopter and you've missed the S, then the X is absolutely the way to go. The Pro just feels as though the Pro should have been the console that Sony released. When the PS4 originally came out, I've always stated it ever since I've got mine. So this is not biased. This is on old videos that I've done. I think even if you look back at the time when I did my PS4 Pro unboxing video on this channel, you'll see that I think I'm still wearing the same shirt. That just goes to show you how quick it's been in a console's life, that it's now being taken away. Oh, phone's pinging. Oops. The console's going to be got rid of. And that's not like me. I usually keep things as long as possible. But in this case, the PS4 Pro just doesn't serve a purpose. I've always said, and if you look back at that original unboxing video, and to my original PS4 Pro review, the PS4 Pro should have been the console that Sony released. That should have been the benchmark. If that would have been the benchmark, if that console would have originally come out and been the original PS4, then Microsoft, even if Microsoft would have released the Scorpio, they wouldn't have, of the Xbox One X, they wouldn't have stood a chance against that level of grunt right from the word go. Then, what would have happened when the Pro came out, what if that would have been the standard PS4, then the PS4 Pro, when it would have come out, potentially could have been a 12GB super enhanced, that could have been the Scorpio for this generation, or the Xbox One X for this generation, and Sony would have completely cemented the lead, and they would have cemented it as being the console of choice for the very best games with the very best graphics. But they didn't. They didn't do it. Sony was in financial trouble as a global organisation when they released the PlayStation 4, and the cutbacks were visible. They built a console for gamers, by gamers, etc., but they didn't put gigabit Ethernet in it. And still to this day, the galling fact of that they have this belief that 4K media is only going to be wanted by people via downloading or via the internet is preposterous. People want to have collections. They want to have physical disc media. UHD 4K Blu-ray discs are used. Well, Blu-ray discs is a proprietary Sony technology. Why the hell didn't they put Blu-ray 4K disc drive into their own product? But yet Microsoft did. No problem. And it can stream 4K content as well. So Sony's own proprietary technology is not in their own console, and then in their original console, the PS4 Pro, they didn't give it enough Ethernet power or enough Wi-Fi power to actually run 4K. When the PS4 Pro came out, yes it did. They upgraded the Wi-Fi card, they upgraded the Ethernet connector, but still the emission of a 4K Blu-ray drive is a big miss. Now, I've not got 4K TV, remember, but if you are, the way I look at it from the perspective of a customer, and I speak to customers all the time in my job, and, I do get the privilege of talking about PS4 Pros, is, if this is the centre of your media entertainment world, if you've got no other things around, you've just bought a brand new 4K TV, and you go, I want the best platform for being able to play movies, Blu-rays, you want to play the very best looking games, etc. The PS4 Pro, I cannot say is that best medium. As a movie buff as well, I have no reason to buy any 4K Blu-rays, because up until a couple of weeks ago, I didn't have a Ultra HD 4K Blu-ray player because I didn't have an Xbox One S. I know that's the other galling thing as well, is that Microsoft's other platform that they offer, the Xbox One S, the entry-level system into the Xbox world, has got a 4K Blu-ray player. So for me, Sony knocked it out the park. They got the ecosystem right, and they went for the games very early on. They knew that I suppose that around Silicon Valley at the time, and around the point when gaming was establishing in this generation, and Microsoft were talking about their product and PlayStation were talking about theirs, and insiders knowing each other, they looked at each other's technical specs and went, oh, well, we're essentially running the same processors. Oh, we've roughly got the same amount of RAM. Oh, we're launching with the same amount of hard drive space. Xbox has got more USB stuff, and the Xbox has got Kinect, but they're going for £100 up. Well, we won't do a camera, we'll offer a base console at $350. So, there was 500 versus 350. PlayStation got the price point right, and they got the initial product right. And Microsoft went for the living room ownership space, which was just completely wrong in the first place. But Microsoft is never someone to write off. They changed the ship, they've changed the direction, they changed the leadership, they pulled all the right people in to make all the right decisions, to pull the console ship around and get it now aimed at gamers, for gamers, by gamers, and the management team is led by people who are gamers. So, you know, they're now offering much more value in their proposition around what they offer as a platform. And people will always, and you know, you look on many reviews, people will complain of the fact that if you buy a game like Forza Horizon 3 or Gears of War 4, then if you buy it digitally, you'll get it for Xbox and for Windows on PC. Microsoft don't care. This is what console players don't understand. As a big corporate entity, if you are playing Gears of War on a PC in Microsoft's ecosystem, you're a Microsoft customer. If you're playing it on PC and you're playing it in their environment, you're still a Microsoft customer, buying stuff from them to play on their platform. If you're an Xbox customer and you buy Gears of War 4 and then suddenly you get a gaming PC, great, you've got a gaming PC which you can play, and then you put your Xbox in the living room and everyone can still play Gears. If you've just got an entry-level Xbox 360, you've still got games that you can get for Games for Gold coming out every month. As an Xbox One player, you get 4 games a month coming out across 360 and across Xbox One. You know? And then they've added all the backwards compatibilities from every single generation. Every single generation can Ethernet up. So you could play Halo 1 across an Xbox, original Xbox, an Xbox 360 and an Xbox One and an Xbox One X. You can all play the same game and do team deathmatch. So, and added on that, you've got Game Pass, which, you know, for a minute on Gold is £1. Added on top of that with, you can get EA access for £3 a month, which gives you an extra amount of games as well. You know, it's just the value proposition for us as gamers is better. PlayStation used to have that advantage, but now it's gone. It's just simply gone. You know, the console now is not the most powerful. Their online access service, yeah, alright, they sometimes have really good games that will drop in to PSN, like Metal Gear Solid 5, but Metal Gear Solid 5 is a dirt cheap game to buy anywhere now. And you can't play PS3 games. You can't play PS1 games or PS2 games. Unless I buy PlayStation Now, which is £13 a month. So, and then I can only play one at a time. The exclusives now don't really seem, you know, the deal with Activision, probably a great move. I still say that getting Destiny as a key platform on it, and getting COD, and getting Star Wars, not Star Wars, sorry, getting Activision games rolling out, so, you know, getting all those coming in, you know, Xbox has got EA not in its pocket, but, you know, that's probably not a good thing to say at the moment with the hurrah around Battlefront. But ultimately, you know, for me personally, the polish of the PlayStation, the advantage that they have, has been eroded, and that has been down to Microsoft showing that this is a play space they want to be in. They had no reason to launch the Xbox One X, none whatsoever. They didn't need to do a PlayStation 4 Pro. They didn't need to do the Scorpio. They didn't need to do all this, because they could have just had an Xbox One generation, an Xbox One S. Maybe you've done like an S Pro. They could have gone down like an S something else, which would have just had maybe, I don't know, maybe redesigned the motherboard so it used single chipsets rather than double use 1 gigabyte chipsets instead of using 512s. Which is what slowed the original Xbox down. You know, getting rid of all the media equipment out of it, like the Kinect and the TV support, would probably have made it even better again. You know, maybe they could have just done an updated AMD Jaguar processor and just done something that was like a PlayStation Pro overclocked, and then just give it a better RAM. You know, they could have done something like that, and then just gone, well, you know, Phil Spencer could have sat back with his old team and just gone, well, you know, this wasn't my project, blah, blah, blah. Let's wait for a few more years now, and then what we'll do is we'll just do the best we can with this generation, and ultimately we'll release the Xbox something or other. Well, the Xbox Scorpio, everyone seemed to like the Scorpio, so what we'll do is we'll leave that till next gen, and we'll release it then. But they didn't. They turned around and they said, we're going to release the very best one we can this generation, because even if there's another 5 years left in this console, so let's think about it. 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 4 years for the original one. Let's say they get 4 years out of this before when we get the true next gen. So PlayStation's got to go now for another 4 years with the Pro. Now let's just say they do a Pro Enhanced, something that might close the gap to the Xbox One X. The generations then will balance up. I think in that time, and before Sony can do that, Microsoft would have caught up, so we'll be back to level pegging again, ready for next generation, and the Switch will just be in the background smashing stuff out into the sky, and off it goes. So when you see more videos now, if I'm playing my PlayStation, it is not a Pro. I'm not going to have a Pro. I may get one in the future if something's worthwhile doing. So you know, but there's, as long as it works on standard PlayStation, I have no reason. It's not my primary platform anymore. It's not my primary platform anywhere, but it's definitely not my primary platform now. And, you know, it really is for you guys to consider that for those that are watching this video that are thinking about, maybe you've got an original PlayStation 4, one of the square triangular ones like I've got now. Or maybe you've got an original Xbox One and you're sat there and you're going, right, I need to change my console now. I've just bought my new 4K TV. What am I going to do? You know, what console you're going to... Maybe you've not got a console and you're trying to work out, why am I saying goodbye to a PS4 Pro? Maybe you're watching this video and you're a PlayStation fan and you're going, what's he doing? But if you've not had a Pro, you won't get it. The uplift and the increases are not that good. They're not overall substantial enough to turn around and say this is an essential purchase. The X against an original one, absolutely. And even against an S, absolutely. Against a PS4 Pro, absolutely. So that's what makes that more of an essential purchase if you're a gamer. The PS4 Pro is if you've not got a console and you've got a 4K TV and you want which console is going to be the best, it's going to come down to a couple of things. Number one, who do you play with? If all your mates are on PlayStation 4 and you've got a 4K TV, get a PS4 Pro. Because there's no point buying an Xbox One X and you don't have any friends on it. Or, if you've had an Xbox 360 account, or you've had an Xbox 360, and you've got some digital games on your Xbox 360, and you want to kind of get a new console because you've just got your funky new TV, get an Xbox One X. Because all those digital games, you know, you might have a percentage of them which will automatically download and upscale on the One X. And you'll probably have some players on there that you used to play with that you can add as friends again, and they will play with you again. Or maybe it's a case of, if you want just the most powerful version of each of the platforms. Now, I'm not talking about PC. I never talk about PC in console chats. That's a whole different conversation. But let's just say that you want to buy the very best platform to run everything on. As a living room system, the Xbox One X has got 4K Blu-ray, Ultra HD 4K Blu-ray player. It'll do the 4K native. It'll do 60 frames a second in games. You know, and that's without struggle. You know, really, for me now, if you get your new 4K TV, the only reason to buy a PS4 Pro is if all of your mates, you know, if an established group of friends that you've played with frequently are also on PlayStation. If not, don't bother. Get an Xbox One X. You'll make new friends really quick. You can go into the community now. You can go into the user groups. You can find gamers. Do that. It's so much better, and you'll have a better experience. So anyway, as I promised in my review video, I am not going to let this video go longer than 30 minutes because I think you've heard enough of me rant. And you know, and not to say there's negatives behind all this. And let me just wrap up now. Let me just wrap up where we're at. The PS4 Pro is good if you're an existing PlayStation player looking for a bit of an upgrade because you've got a new 4K TV. If you've got a 1080p or an older TV, stick with the standard PS4 Pro, standard PS4. You will not notice any difference. It will not benefit you horrendously. Since the PlayStation's done the version 5 OS update, the actual UI struggles that we had from previous generations, previous updates, is gone. It works really smooth. You've got added disk space now. You've got the ability to add extended storage with external hard drives on a standard PS. So if you've got a 1080p TV, don't bother. If you've got a new 4K TV and all your mates play on PlayStation, get a PlayStation 4 Pro. You'll definitely see a little bit of a step up above your standard PS. But if you're a new customer, looking to buy a console, maybe you're a dad looking to buy the kid's first console, maybe you're just a techno junkie and you've just bought your top of the range 4K Ultra HD HDR TV and you're looking for the very best system to plug into it, to play games, to play 4K Blu-rays, etc, etc, the One X all the way. If you're an existing Xbox player on any platform, get a One X. It is just the better platform. So that's where I stand. It's goodbye to my PS4 Pro. It has served me well. Well, I can't even say that. I bought it to see Destiny 2 in a much better graphics, and it wasn't. And Destiny 2 is not that good a game. So, Destiny 1 I played on my original PS4, and that to me was brilliant. You know, I've played loads of games on my PS4. My original one, it never took my enjoyment away because it wasn't in 4K. It wasn't running on the fastest thing or whatever. It didn't bother me one bit. It's not going to bother me now. The PS4 Pro was bought so I could play Destiny 2 in the very best graphics, the very best way, the very fastest frame rate, etc. And it turned out it couldn't support it. There is a 4K update coming, but I don't care because the PS4 Pro doesn't support full fat 4K. The Xbox One X does. That's what I'm looking forward to and getting back into my Xbox world. So, thank you very much for watching this video. I know it's been a bit of a rant, but I just want you guys, I'm a consumer, I buy stuff, I'm giving you my honest review on what I think of everything that's out there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, you can go to my website, which is damnprofit.com. Go and have a look on there. There's news, reviews, there's videos, there's links to streams, there's a gallery of pictures for stuff. You name it, you can check all my stream times out and where I stream. You'll also find me on twitch.tv/damned_profit. And you'll also find me on mixer.com/damned_profit. And if you're watching this video, you know where I am on YouTube. Check out Twitter as well, and Facebook, and Google Plus pages. Whatever you find me, just look for damned_profit or damn profit. You'll find me no problem. Alright guys, thank you very much for your time. And all that leaves me to say is I will see you next time. Bye.